Okay, so today I'm going to explain how to append data and how to unpivot data. So that is very simple, and I'm just going to take one example. Now, first of all, I'm just going to add some of the file. So in one file there are number of tables. For example, like 2020, 2021, and a matrix. So there are three tables that I have. Uh, I'm just going to add all these three tables here, and the ones that I click on all these three under the navigator box, then I just like to transform this data. So once I click on the transform, then Power Query Editor will open. On the left hand side that we have all these three tables. So what I'm going to do, the first I'm just going to append queries. So let's say any file that we take, so I'm just going to take this to 2021, and on the right hand side under this home, right on the right hand side, you see append queries. Click on that. Append queries, the first options that we will select, then the one that the pop-up like that will appear. I'm just going to select it to 2020. So here I'm just going to click OK. Once I will click OK, then all the columns here that will be merged with another file, provided these columns should be present in the both of the files, exactly the same name. When I click OK, so now the data is appended. So data from the year like 2020 and 2021 that you will be able to see over here. Now what I'm going to do here, that I'm just going to I have this option here, enable load, and if I'm just going to click it here, it means this is not enabled. Means at the time of applying, when I click on the close up and apply, only this data will be appearing over there, not this one. Now what I want one more thing here. Look at this, there are some information like the property address is here. So what I want that this column should be splitted in a different more columns. So how this is possible? So first of all, I'm just going to select it. Then I have here split column. So once I click on the split column, then here the first option is by limiters, and select or enter delimiters. So here by default this is comma, so let it be like this. And if I click on OK, then what will happen, just look at it. So once I click on OK, so the way one column is divided and separated into four columns. So here I'm just going to change the heading name just by double click on this. Here this is the home address, or even you can write a simple address, right? And then here we can write city name. So once you double click on this, and you will be able to change the name. Again here I want to write a province, and the fourth last column that I'm just going to change over the name of the country and press enter. So all these columns have been added over here. If I want to make all these columns in this way, but if for this column I have changed all these things, but here I have selected this 2020. Right click this, so I have not included here. I don't want to enable it. So if I don't want this data, so better like click on this. And the same thing I'm just going to repeat it here by selecting this one. So what happened, I have changed that data over here. So by default, so the data which was appended here the same changes have been happened. So click on this. What you can do, just change the rename and applied steps that I'm going to remove the change type, and again split column by delimiters. So I have changed all this. So by default it has converted into the original shape where that we started. Go to the file to 2021 and you will see here that the full address and the full information is here for rest of the table that we tried to make some modification over here. Now this is the 2021 data. So after making one modification, that is that we have appended queries. Now what I want only this file under the Power Query Editor. I want to make some modification here so that when I click on close and apply, only this data along with the matrix that should be implemented in the Power Query, means that should be imported in the Power Query only. So now what I'm going to do, just the same, I'm going to repeat the steps. So I have selected one column here. Now click on the split column, delimiters, then everything is by default this is comma. If I click on OK, and it is converted into 4 columns. So what I'm going to change the name here. So this is first is the address, then here I'm just going to write here city, and here I'm just going to write the province, and the last one is name of the country, so I'm just going to write country. All is done, all we have completed these things, right? And one thing more I just would like to do here is, let me see if it is possible. Okay, I want to convert this matrix. So matrix is here. Matrix means when we have some rows and columns, and this is not in the tabular form but this is in the metric form. Like, so for Raman on Sunday, that he has sold 365 units, and on Monday 333, and Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on for the whole week till Saturday. So from Sunday to Saturday, all 7 days, and the rest like Sohan, Mohan, Suresh, and Jasmeet. So I want to make some modification here. So what I want this one is in normal table way, but this is the matrix, not table. So what I'm going to do, accept the first column, I'm just going to select rest of the columns. So first I'm just going to click the column 1, then 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, and 7. So once I have selected all these 7, accept the first one, this name that I have not selected, right? So now here what I want, there is the one option under the transform data. I'm just going to make some modification here. I'm just going to unpivot the data. So when data source contain data that is not in a tabular form but in matrix form, then that is known as unpivoted data. So uh, that I'm just going to change it. I'm just going to change it to the normal table. I want to just unpivot. This is the pivoted one. I'm going to unpivot. So click on the first option or the second option. So here we have unpivoted column and unpivoted other column. So no, I'm just going to select the first one, unpivot column. So when I click on the unpivot column, so the attribute and the value heading will by default created, right? So we have name, attribute, and column. So 3 things that we have. So now this file is also ready and this file is ready, and this file that I am not going to import it. So if I don't want to import this one, then already that we have not enabled. So if you here see, it's enabled, and this file if I want, this is also enabled. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on the close and apply. So once I click on the close and apply, both tables data is being loaded here in the Power BI desktop. Now look at this. So data is here in front of you on the right hand side. Remember that 2020 data has not been uploaded. So here we have this data, and this data is after the modifications that we have already done. And the matrix that is not in the matrix form, but now it has converted to the table automatically with the options that we selected at that time. Now what I want, like, for example, the first name and last name is there. Why the first name and last name? They should be the full name. What I want to do, I'm just going to insert one column here, just by clicking maybe new column, right? So if I click on the new column, then what I want here, I want to change the name of this column by, okay, so once you double click on this column, it will go. So now new column, and here, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the name to full name. When I select full name and equal to, I want to concatenate two names, the first name and the second name. So here the simplest process is just click on the first, it means the first name, and the ampersand sign, double quotes, then ampersand sign again, then here just write here last name. So the first 2021 is the name of the table, and this is the name of the column. So once that you have given this command and press enter, so you can see on the right hand side here, and these two names have been concatenated. So from like first name and last name that we have completed, and we have created one full name data here. So this is a small information that we have here, and some of the informations that we have collected from the tables, and one table that we ignored. If again, that if you want to see from where the data has been imported, just click on the transform data, right? Then you will be able to see that this data is here, still it is here, and but we don't want to use this data, right? So other data that is also here. One thing more, click on this, you will not be able to find here the new column that we have created there. So I have created one new column that is not available, like first name last name is here, that is only for modification purpose. Now you can see when you click on close and apply, then look at this, the full name is also available here. So this is that we have done before. So these are the small functions and very useful functions that I have completed in this session.